all black everything for us today on the pod.
People are wild. Wild.
Dude, people have opinions about everything. Everything. It's great. It's what makes America wonderful. And Canada. Shout out Canadians.
Okay.
Other than you guys liking ketchup chips.
Oh, that lady that donated was from Canada.
She was?
Yeah.
Oh, see, we love Canadians.
Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, game time. All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of King of the Court.
KOTC for
KOTC for short.
Yes.
For those that did not know, we are your hosts, Tyler and
Jimmy Miller.
Jimmy, so we did a commercial last week, a couple days ago, and you had an interesting accent.
Yeah.
Can we hear it?
I think we should save it for the premiere. Let's just say that Tim Klitsch has nothing on me. Tim Klitsch, the Ranchers owner, Matty Pickles, your dad has nothing on me. Dude, I think I would fit in West Texas.
In where?
West Texas.
How do you do that voice?
No, I'm not. I can't. It's got to be. I was very into character. It took me days to mentally prepare.
All right. Anyway, so this commercial that we shot is for the Pickler. It should be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks, but it is something that you won't forget it.
It's amazing.
It's pretty good.
If I don't win an Oscar, I'm going to be pissed.
Okay. All right. Welcome back to another episode of the King of the Court. We are your hosts. Thank you to our title sponsor, the Pickler.
The Pickler.
They are the number one leading indoor facility in the world in pickleball. In the world. If you are interested in being a part of that pickleball business or starting your own indoor location, reach out to the Pickler and tell them that we sent you. We'll give you a shout out. And anything else with Pickler?
I mean, we were just there at their headquarters.
Their headquarters are beautiful.
It's
all their
beautiful.
new locations that they're putting out, they call them the Pickler 2.0s, and they're incredible.
I think there's a couple openings soon. Is Blaine opening? I think
Dallas, West
Fort Worth.
Yep.
McKinney. I mean, I don't know if that's the same. Texas, listen, I wasn't quite enough into character, but there's a lot of openings soon. Check them out. Find one in your area. Sign up. And you can sign up under our code.
Yes. Use our code to sign up for a membership, and it will save you a little bit of money.
Yes.
Also, thank you to Pickleball Central. They are also the sponsor of this show, KOTC. They're also the number one online retailer of paddles, bags, balls, anything pickleball related. Go check them out. Yes. Paddle Tech just released a new paddle, and a lot of people were using our code KOTC for that paddle.
Yeah, check it out. I have a couple of them. I've been trying out, demoing, reviewing, and they're great. Yeah, use our code. Also, this is 1 year. This is like our first episode since it's been 1 year since we started this.
Yeah, I think you did a picture, and it was like a throwback, and we were in a totally different studio, different office.
Yeah, we were on the same side.
Who knew what we were doing?
We had no idea.
Yeah.
And look what's happened.
How did that all transpire? I think you texted me and said, hey, we need to put a response out to Jilly B.
Yeah, let's get it.
And then we just, boom.
And we went at her. Well, we didn't go at her. We just wanted to create something that was fun. And
a lot of people don't know. So I started editing the videos. We now have an editor.
Yes.
But I started doing it.
You did.
And there were so many portions that I had to cut out from this guy talking. Like so many minutes that I had to cut out. Now you've toned it down a bit, but there were
I don't know if I've toned it down or if we've just decided that it is what it is.
It is, yeah, one or the other.
Created it, but you had this vision for a while. You and I had talked for a long time, like mentioning off and on about doing a podcast.
Yeah.
And I actually had other people approach me about doing a podcast.
Like who?
Well, I'm not going to say because they clearly didn't do it. Because there's some people that have ideas and there's some people that execute ideas.
5 O's don't count in Utah, or clearly 4 5s don't count in Utah, or 4 O's don't count in Utah.
And so we have been doing this podcast for a year. We're like 60 something episodes, actual KOTC episodes. I think we've almost done one every single week.
Yep.
It's been a crazy ride.
Yeah. Thank you to you guys for making this possible.
Did you just do that in sign language?
Yes.
Oh, wow. This guy.
He
speaks
all
many
inclusive.
languages.
I am very inclusive. There's not anyone I discriminate against.
So yes, thank you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. All the support.
Real quick, I hate to shill this type of stuff, but a lot of people ask how to either submit questions or also how to donate.
Yeah. We love questions.
Questions. The easiest way is to go on our Instagram page, and normally 1 to 2 days before we do a video, we will open the question page up on Instagram on our Instagram story, and then you simply type in your question, whatever it is, and then we will try to get to it in the show. If you're wanting to donate, the easiest way is to go on YouTube, and under the videos, there's a portion where it says thanks or donate or something like that. And you click it, and then you can donate however much money you wanted to do. Last week, we had a very lovely person who is a very big fan donate $50. And her name is Julie Nuttall. I think it's Nuttall. Yeah.
And she's here in Utah?
She's here in Utah. She saw me playing pickleball. We talked a little bit, and she didn't know how to donate. And so we just wanted to put that out there.
You're here local? Let's get some games in, Julie.
You got to go easy on Jimmy.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, we love those donations. It does help this pod. And if you guys have any questions, attach them to those donations, and those normally become our priorities.
So, yes, happy 1 year. Tyler, thanks for all you do for the pod. Thanks for being the yin to my yang.
Yeah.
Is that racist?
I was just about to say that. I feel like you can't be saying that type of stuff.
But you can.
I can, because I have that heritage.
So what about me? Thanks for being the...
Peanut butter to my jelly.
Is that a white person thing?
I don't know.
Is that white bread? Is that a Caucasian thing? All right. Anyways, moving on.
Okay.
PPA Atlanta. By the way, as we're recording this, MLP is going on. We will give you a full MLP recap. But this right now, we are going to talk about PPA Atlanta.
Yes. So next week, we have a big tournament. It is called the Atlanta Open. It is actually not inside Atlanta. It's probably...
Peachtree Corners?
Yes. Yep.
How far away is that?
It's about 40 minutes outside of Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Great area. Beautiful facility. It's at Lifetime. Yep. And yeah, so it's one of their opens. So it's going to be one of their biggest tournaments of the year. Yeah. And so they have a ton of people registered.
1,562 players registered, amateurs.
Yep.
That's
including the pros.
Including pros, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah. So we're just going to go through the draws, kind of see if we see any crazy partnerships. The one thing about this tournament, I don't know what it is about this specific one, but there are always a ton of players. I don't know if it's that area or what, but there's always a ton of players. I was talking to somebody, and they said in the men's singles qualifier, they have over 100 entrants, participants.
That's crazy. Everybody's
in the qualifier.
That's crazy. Also, they've done like $200,000+ in ticket sales.
Yeah.
And we're talking about doing this on the back of MLP too. So MLP was first, PPA second. So that means that you also have all those fans at MLP. Like Peachtree Corners is a hot spot.
Yeah. Do you know the weather for Atlanta for PPA?
Should we look at it? Let's look at it.
We can check it out.
Amazing.
All right. Anyways,
technology is amazing.
While Jimmy looks that up, we will go through some of the draws.
Bro, I'm a weather guy.
And first,
wow.
How is it?
So starts Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
65% chance of rain, 75 degrees.
Okay.
Wednesday and Thursday look great. 78 degrees, no rain.
Okay.
Friday, 80% chance of rain, 70 degrees. Saturday and Sunday, perfect.
Well, the good news, since this is a progression draw format, there might not be a lot of people all Friday, the way there on Friday.
Figure it out, yeah.
Even by Thursday, it starts thinning out. Well, maybe Friday, I would say it starts thinning out.
So we'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Men's singles pro draw.
Yeah.
I'm actually playing singles in this one.
You are?
Yes.
Let me pull this up too so we both have it because my eyes aren't
I don't think they're available yet.
Oh, you're right. But I can see who's in the draw.
Okay. So Federico is our number 1 seed. And Ben Johns is number 2. Is this the first time?
Yeah, because Ben didn't play last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? We have all the players playing in it. Jaume, Connor Garnett.
It's interesting because in the, let's see, is it the quarters? We're going to get, or the round of 16, we're going to get Fed and possibly Anik Lahani.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting matchup. Connor Garnett and possibly Colin Schick. I mean, Ben is probably going to...
Julian Arnold's still playing. He's the 16th seed. He'll play Tyson McGuffin his second round if they both win.
Come on, now or never.
He's coming back from Hawaii.
Yep.
Julian Arnold on his way back. Who do you have first round?
So I have a qualifier TBD, and then the winner of that match will play into Wang
Jung.
Yes.
Wang Jung.
Okay.
Who just signed with Selkirk.
Officially.
Okay.
Cool.
Avatar ball bender.
Congrats to Wang.
Congrats to him. So he's fired up. I mean, looking like if you just look at the players in the freaking men's singles, it is nuts. I mean, Fed obviously is the number one.
So this one should be fun. Christian Alshon, assuming he wins his first one, he'll play Jack Sock in his second round, which they played last tournament in the semifinals, and Jack beat Christian in 2 games, but the second game was close.
By the way, I'm just going to show people this. I don't know if they can see it, but check this out. This is men's qualifiers. That's
how many players?
It's still going, dude. Like it doesn't count them, but this is nuts.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's 100. I got to be 100 plus.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Okay. Anyways, what are your thoughts for men's singles?
So it's hard to go against Fed. I don't know how you bet against Fed at this point at all. I mean, he's 9 for 9.
He would play Connor Garnett or Alshon in the quarters.
Yes. Now, Connor Garnett did beat him. Mm-hmm. But it's hard to bet against Fed, at least not getting to the semis.
Yeah.
You know, I'm playing for a medal. Jack Sock had a good run last tournament.
Looks like Ben has a pretty favorable draw for him. He'll play Gabe Joseph, which he's played quite a bit, and he normally handles him in the past fairly well. And then the winner of that would play into J.W. Johnson or Kwong. And if it is Kwong,
did beat Ben recently, yeah.
I think he's beaten him 2 or 3 times out of 4 or 5 times, yeah.
Wang.
My apologies. My sincerest apologies.
Wow. Yeah, so I mean that'll be interesting. Tyson is still a force. I do like. I mean he'll have to play Julian. I like Tyson over Julian in that, and then Jake's kind of at the bottom of that bracket. Honestly, is pretty winnable for anybody.
Yeah,
it's pretty wide open.
Yeah,
so it'll be interesting. You know what happens there, but I do like Fed to make it to the finals, and I'm going to say that the seedings hold for the first time in a while, and we have a Fed versus Ben.
Okay. I think Ben might be well rested. He might be ready to bounce back. And
Ben went to Disneyland.
We've said that.
That's amazing.
Yeah. You said that he built a lightsaber.
He did.
Yeah.
100% he did.
Okay.
So here's the question. So Ben's team is not playing in Atlanta for MLP. Mm-hmm. They're one of the team, and you're the other team. Mm-hmm. Does that help or hurt him? Or it doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it help or hurt you? Does the time off
I
help?
enjoy watching this first one and having a little bit more time to recoup because the month of April was go, 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 go. Yeah. And so it's nice to have a little bit more of a break.
Some of these players, by the time they play on Thursday or Friday, are going to be 10 days in Atlanta.
Exactly.
That's a long time to be away from home, not sleeping in your own bed, right? So we'll see what happens.
Okay. Moving on to women's singles. Annalie is back from her...
She's back.
From her PPA hiatus.
Yeah.
All the women are playing.
So while Annalie was gone, Leah and Mary Brasha were the top dogs. Mm-hmm. You know, both of them picking up golds, both of them getting to finals multiple times. Mary beat Leah once. Leah had her own gold medal. I think Leah's medaled in 3 or 4 straight now at this point. Can Leah knock off, or Mary, can either of them knock off Annalie?
And this is my personal opinion, I have to put that out there, I don't think so. Annalie is so far ahead of all the competition in women's singles that even on her bad days, I don't think there's many players that are close.
Seed is Leah?
I don't know, but Catherine is number 2.
Oh, she's up there for roll scrub. She's a 4.
4.
So who's the 3? Mary?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So Leah would have to play Annalie in the semis. Mm-hmm. Catherine and Mary get each other. Catherine's been upset a lot. I can't imagine I don't know the PPA points.
I don't think anybody does.
Or how it actually works. I'm going to try and look it up while we're talking here. But I feel like Catherine can't be holding on to that 2 seed for much longer.
Well, I think she did very well last year, the past few tournaments.
And it's a 12
so she
month.
Probably has quite a bit of points. And like I said, the difference between the number 1, 2, and 3 are so great that
you're right.
I would think she has quite
she
a
has
few points.
4,000 more points than
the next
than Mary.
person. Yeah.
And 4,500 more than Leia.
Okay.
Leia is approaching Mary. There's about an 800 point difference, but I don't know how many points you get from winning.
Jeannie Bouchard, she's in the round of 64. She has a qualifier. She could win that, and then she would play Ava Ignatowicz,
which is
she
a very
could
winnable
win
one.
that.
Yeah,
and then she would play Annalie.
Yeah. So is this considered a 2,000?
It's the highest one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first place you get 2,000 points.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, first place you get 2,000 points. Second place 1,600. Third place 1,200. So say Leia beats Annalie, and if they played in the semis, chances are Annalie would still get 1,200. Leia would get 2,000. So
she's still number 2 for.
But if
a while.
If Catherine loses, say in the quarters, she would get 400 and say Leia.
But you said she's 4,000 points ahead.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it would take,
regardless, it'll take a minimum of 4 to 5.
Tournaments with them getting to the finals and Catherine losing early.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot for her to get knocked out of that 2 seed. So I think that Mary makes it, and
Paris Todd, Catherine, Lina.
Yeah, Lina's playing great, but I think
Salome, Caitlin Christian.
I mean, honestly, any of them can win that. Caitlin's playing well in singles. Salome obviously plays well with a little bit of help.
Okay. So who do you got in the finals? Annalie versus...
I'm going to call my shot. Leia Jansen upsets Annalie.
Okay.
Annalie loses in singles because of the layoff.
Okay.
She hasn't played singles in a month.
But she's playing MLP right now. She just got done with the Dream Breaker, and she was lights out.
But it's different.
It is.
Leia wins, beats Annalie.
Then she retires. She's done with singles.
Honestly, it wouldn't shock me. Like, that would be really on brand for Leia to do something like pretty extravagant like that. I mean, why wouldn't you? Okay. You have nothing left. I mean, look at Tyra.
Yep.
She didn't retire, but she hasn't played since.
Yeah.
You have nothing left to prove, and we know how hard singles is on Leia's body.
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't it be sick to beat somebody and then be like,
I'm done.
You can never play me again?
Yeah. I think that's a little, I don't know what the word is, but.
I love it. I hope Leia does it. Leia, do it. Beat her and then walk away so you always have that win. The last time you ever played singles was a W over Annalie.
Yeah.
And we know how hard it is on Leia's body with her diabetes, so it'd be sick if she walked away. Put her paddle down like UFC fighters take their gloves off.
Yeah.
She takes her shoes off and her paddle, walks away.
Done.
Just retires right there. And then on the other side, who is Caitlin?
That was like Brasha.
Is Caitlin Christian on the bottom of that?
She is. Salome.
I would say Caitlin Christian versus Leia in the finals.
Okay.
All
right. Awesome. Moving on to mixed doubles. So I am playing mixed doubles with Etta Wright.
Etta.
And she's coming off of a gold with Ben Johns.
2 golds in 3 events.
Okay. And so being me, thinking she might have a good high seed or something like that, she could carry me.
Yeah.
Doesn't work out that way.
Yeah. What happened?
I feel like this year is the year that I've had great draws, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that. But you've got to fight through it. You've got to go through it. Anyways, we will, assuming we win our first one, play Christian Alshon and Vivian Glassman most likely.
So let's look at this. So Etta has 4,300 points in women's mixed doubles.
Okay.
In men's mixed doubles.
Ooh, this is going to be bad for me.
I got to scroll a little bit.
You got to scroll real.
No, it's not bad. You're 26th. Etta's 8th. Okay. You have 1,275.
Okay.
So that gives you guys roughly 5,500 points. Okay. And what's your seed?
The 14. But once again, they randomized the seeding.
From like 9 to 14. Yeah. I think you got, who's 9? Just
know.
Curious.
Let's see.
I'm just curious to see. Sometimes you got to fact check MLP or PPA.
Matt and Lucy are 8.
So they're falling fast. So Matt
Well, once again, that's randomized. Rachel Rohrabacher and Fed are number 9, which technically we beat them last round. But I'm just saying the placement where we're at.
Rachel has 2,400 points.
But once again, it's randomized, so it doesn't matter.
I know. But I'm just curious. And Fed has 4,600. So they have more points than you, so that makes sense. Interesting. Anyways, so who do you guys have first round?
So we have a qualifier.
Okay.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
And then our second round would be tough. I mean, it's tough to say because almost all matchups are tough nowadays. Like literally all matchups are tough.
So there's a good chance you guys are gonna get Glassman and Christian.
Yes.
In the second round.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like
that's
a second round match. Now Glassman is coming off of a layoff as well, but she has played a couple tournaments recently, and she's played pretty well.
But the winner of that would play Annalee Ben Johns.
Yeah. So there's I was talking to a player the other day, and she was telling me that everything is hard.
Yeah.
There's no easy matchups anymore. Like pickleball has gotten to the point where every matchup is hard.
Yeah.
There's no crew. And the thing is you actually have an advantage over Ben and Annalee because we know they're slow starters. You would have had, by the time you play Ben and Annalee, you've already played a match. They have not.
No, they would have played one too. We'd play them in the round of 16.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's tough. So I think you guys do get by Glassman and Christian. I think Edda's just going to be too good cross court for Glassman. I mean, Christian will try to get big, and when he gets big, he's good. But when he gets too big, he makes a lot of mistakes. So I like that matchup. And I guess actually, since you're lefty, she won't be cross court. She'll be straight up, which actually I like even better for you guys. You just got to keep that MLP percentage of your counters. Your counters were at the top.
What was it, like number 4, number 5?
Number 4 in MLP and counters. So I like that for you guys. And then obviously Ben and Annalee is going to be tough.
Yeah.
The team that has been on fire recently, other than the last tournament, was Tina and Deckel.
We got Steve Deacon and Sarah Ansbury playing together.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go Canada, Steve Deacon. Sarah Ansbury is actually calling an MLP match tomorrow.
Nice.
We'll see.
Is she your favorite?
No, but I did think that her run was impressive with Bonata, Audrey Bonata. Yeah.
Jack Sock and Catherine, they're back at it.
Yeah. They have not had great success. And Catherine, I don't know. Catherine took a little bit of a break too, so we'll see what happens with her. I feel like
I'm actually playing one with Catherine Texas Open.
You are?
I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel like Catherine obviously is still clear-cut number 2, but I feel like the gap is closing.
Tyson McGuffin and Lacey Schneeman.
So Megan and Tyson.
Are they done?
Rumors they're done. Yeah. Rumors that Megan and Tyson.
So I talked to Megan and she said she's playing with Diescu for quite a bit.
Yeah. Which makes sense. Team Proton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Diescu's a better partner for her. I mean, her and Tyson didn't have great success.
They actually did better than I was thinking they would have done.
They did. They had they made it to some medal rounds. And the other thing is Megan was sick for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we'll talk about MLP, but like Megan, clearly, if you watch, she's not 100% right now. So, but I think her and Diescu will do really well.
James and Anna are back at it.
That'll be interesting because James, again, he's been hurt, shoulder injury.
But he was hurt last tournament at Red Rock, and they got to the finals.
Exactly. So, but no Ben and Annalee in that one.
Oh, let's see. Sorry. Elise and Connor Garnett.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, if Connor learns how to serve.
Yeah. But it's not going to be as detrimental because it's traditional scoring.
Yeah, but dude, you got to fix that. Poor guy. Like, I legit feel bad for him.
I do too, yeah.
Like, it's...
And so I saw one of the comments, they're all like, oh, he needs to go serve 500 balls. It's not serving, I promise you.
It's mental. It's 100% mental.
Yeah.
So I like this. DJ Young and Caitlin Christian. Callan Dawson, Dominique Schaefer.
Who wins that?
I think DJ and Caitlin win that, and I actually think that they win the next round too.
Whew. Depends on DJ if he can get hot.
Yeah, we know DJ can get hot, but below that,
Hayden, they're playing in the round of 64. Yeah. Hayden and Leia.
So then you have Hayden and Leia, and they'll probably play Coop and Colin Johns.
Yep,
most likely. And then the winner of that would get Matt and Lucy. So it wouldn't shock me if Hayden and Leia made a deep run. Yeah. It's kind of set up nice for them.
Yeah. Okay. So, anything else?
No, I mean we're Thomas and Viv.
I did not see them. Hunter and Paris are back. Hunter Johnson and Paris Todd.
Together. Cute.
Thomas, they're the number 2 seed.
Okay. And they'll get Recker and Schick.
No, yeah, Buckner.
Oh, Buckner. Sorry. It's really small.
That's what she said.
So, yeah.
Ava Ignatowicz and Ryan Fu. against Eric Onson's, that new guy, and Lauren Stratman.
Yeah, Miami.
So lots of fun matchups.
There's a lot of new partnerships, fun matchups.
Who was Julian with? Julian Arnold.
He's not playing next.
Lauren said, if you can't play with me, you can't play at all. If you're not playing with me.
Who was Jade Kawamoto with?
One of them was with Rhett Meyer.
Oh, it must have been Jade because Jackie's not playing any tournaments until like July.
Gotcha. Yeah, Jade.
They play well together, actually.
They'll have Thomas and Viv if they keep winning.
So, in this one, I'm going to say that Thomas and Viv do what they do. I like Ignatowicz and Anna, but I think Ignatowicz and Anna are on the other side of the bracket, aren't they?
They're at the bottom.
They're at the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben and Annalie, and I'm going to say Anna and James make it to the final.
Okay. All right.
I'm being real ballsy with my predictions.
Yeah. But first, our next sponsor.
Yeah.
C&D Pickleball Nets. They are at MLP. They are using their nets at MLP.
Yeah.
And they're incredible. People love them.
We won't talk about, but yes, they're using their nets at MLP because they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're the best nets. There's nothing better out there.
Yeah.
These guys, if you talk to them, it's impressive. They've done their research. They could tell you everything there is to know about every other net on the market, and they just made theirs better.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, if they're going to use plastic wheels, we're going to use casters or whatever it's called. If they're going to use bolts, we're going to use welds. Like, they've just done every single thing, every bit of research that you can imagine to make their nets just that much better. So go check them out, thebestpickleballnets.com. Jamie Foxx, who owns The Best Paddles, has the best pickleball net in his backyard.
Does he actually own the best paddles, or?
Well, that's what he calls his paddles.
Oh, gotcha. That's the name of the paddles.
The name of the paddle is The Best Paddle.
Gotcha.
So check them out. C&D Pickleball Nets, thebestpickleballnets.com. Tell them we sent you. Use code KOTC. Some of the best dudes you'll ever meet. Honestly, like, great guys. And if you have questions, call them. Like, they are insanely knowledgeable. So give them a call.
Okay, moving on to women's pro doubles. So I love seeing this. They have quite a bit of teams. I'm assuming they have a qualifier to get into the round of 64.
I think they do. They do have a women's.
I'm not sure how many are on that wait list or in that draw.
So originally, the other day I checked, and the women's pro qualifier was crazy. It was like Georgia Johnson and Maria Humberg were in it. It was nuts. But it seems that they have added a lot of these women to the round of 64 now, and the qualifier has shrunk. So the qualifier is only like 12 teams, but I think we need to give a round of applause for the ladies, because remember, we talk about this all the time. There was a time not very long ago, maybe 2 years ago, where we were having 8 to 12 teams in the women's divisions.
Yep.
And you go 1 and 2, you get a freaking bronze medal. We talked to Elise about this.
Yeah.
You would go 1 and 2 and you'd play for the bronze.
Yeah.
Where now we've got women's qualifiers. We're filling a full round of 64 with teams. And the talent level is through the roof. So props to the ladies. Props to them coming out. And we have some pretty sick matchups, honestly. And some interesting partnerships.
Okay. We got Alex Trong and Jilly B.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
That's going to be interesting because, Jilly B is a talented player. Whatever you feel about her personally, she does have talent.
Can you talk to her and have her maybe create a rap song or rap intro to this pod?
I think it's her wife that does the rap, isn't it?
Okay, either way. Like
K-Dub and Jilly B. I've only listened to their pod once.
How would ours go?
Honestly, better than I could make a better rap than that. But good for them. Yeah.
Shelby Bates, Rachel Rutger.
So they were in the qualifier the other day, so I'm glad they got put in the main draw. But yeah, there's some interesting. So Caitlin Christian and Kate Fahey, I think, are playing together.
Okay.
So
Rachel is back with Anna.
Yeah, Rohrabacher and Anna.
Tyra Black is with
Vivian David. That'll be really interesting because I think Viv will be a great, steady partner on the right side for Tyra.
And then Callie and Leia.
Callie and Leia, again, the only issue with that partnership is who plays the left. Who do you have playing the left?
Probably Leia. I think Callie is a little bit more comfortable on both sides.
Yeah.
Than Leia.
But Leia played the right with in her last tournament.
Maybe I could be wrong.
With Tina.
Yeah.
She played the whole time.
There you go. Maybe they'll play straight up.
Yeah, I think they should play straight up personally, or just play the hot player, right? Because one of them is bound to get hot. Tina and Jesse, also interesting. They've had decent success, but I would really like to see Tina and Leia back together. I think that's a team that's a force.
Well, I was talking with somebody, and they were talking about women's partners, and I don't think Leia and Tina are playing that many more tournaments, which is interesting because they've had such success.
Yeah, I think that they had already committed to other partnerships at the time.
And that's stopping those players from not breaking that commitment,
which is crazy, right? Because this is your career, so you got to be
it's crazy because both of those players, well, maybe not both, but one of those players has for sure dropped or broken up those commitments previously.
Yeah, but I think, I just think that
maybe the other one isn't wanting to do that. But I mean, when you're taking top 3 consistently in back-to-back tournaments, I mean, maybe you don't have to drop your partner 1 to 2 or 3 months out, but 4, 5, 6 months down the road.
And maybe we'll see it. And maybe they have committed for a certain amount of time and we'll see them. But I actually think that Tina and Leia would be a consistent medal team. Like they would medal just as consistently as Anna and Rachel and consistently as Annalie and Catherine. They'd be that third team.
Okay.
Like they're that good. So,
anything else? What are your thoughts on women's doubles?
I mean, it's tough. I mean, look, Annalie and Catherine, I mean, I guess the last time we saw them together, they lost.
Was that Houston?
Yeah. Annalie hasn't played since then.
Jeez, that was what? It was probably only a month ago, but it feels like 3 or 4 months ago.
Yeah. So they haven't played since then. I expect them to bounce back.
It looks like they have a pretty favorable draw.
Yeah.
Paris and Lucy.
Oh, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, again, and then Glassman and Schneemann. And then Etta and Megan. So, I mean, I like Annalie and Catherine to win that. I do.
Okay. All right, moving on to the last category, last event, which is the men's pro doubles.
Which means I just gave Annalie a triple crown.
Okay. Thoughts on this?
Augie and AJ Kohler.
Round 2.
In round 2.
Okay. Because they played Red Rock together.
Yep. And I think Augie and AJ Kohler could get hot and beat Ben and Colin in the round of 16.
They got to get through their first one. I could see Brandon French and Wyatt Stone giving them some trouble.
They could lose to anybody. And they could beat Ben and Colin.
Sure.
AJ is unpredictable. He's streaky. But here's the thing. This is Ben and Colin seeing Augie multiple times now. They have a game plan. And if that game plan's not to dink his backhand, then their game plan's wrong. But with that being said, I could see them getting hot and beating Ben and Colin. Daescu and Tardio, again, will face off against Ben and Colin in the quarters.
Yep.
If they get there. But they do have to – Zane and DJ.
Yeah, that could be tough.
That could be a tough team for them.
That's a tough second round. That's a round of 16.
Yeah, that could be tough.
Matt and Federico Staksrud. This is a long-awaited matchup.
So no more Pablo. Matt and Fed. I mean, I think Matt has...
They'll play Will Howells and CJ Klinger.
They could lose that.
Yeah, I mean, this will be their first tournament, and Will Howells and Matt were kind of going at it a little bit on the previous match. So
and CJ is a lefty. That's going to be really interesting.
That's a good match.
That is a good match. That one should be. I hope they put that one on center.
Okay. Daniel De La Rosa, they have a qualifier, and then the winner of that will play into Jack Monroe and Julian Arnold.
Again, that could go either way. I like Jack Monroe and Julian Arnold to win that, but we have seen Julian Arnold recently. He hasn't had the most amount of success. So that's another fun matchup.
Okay. Hunter Johnson and Thomas Wilson, MLP.
I mean, it makes sense. You want to play with your MLP partner.
Okay.
And they're buddies. They live right by each other. So Dylan and J-Dub, you were playing with PK.
So I'm playing with Patrick Kafka.
You know where he's from?
Well, I know where he's from. I know he's from Vegas. His family's from Poland. Yeah.
Yes, they're Polish.
Yeah.
Did you see the Breakers did a video? And they had all their parents call.
Ask Rafa how to pronounce his last name.
How did he say it?
You'll have to ask Rafa.
Okay. And
they made a video on it. How to pronounce his last name.
Oh, really? And they called in and spoke Polish to him, and it was very nice. And PK was crying.
Yeah.
How's his knee?
So he injured his knee at the LA Open, and he was kind of injured a little bit. He kind of pulled out of Red Rock, but he is now playing MLP. And from what I've heard, people say he looks to be moving fine.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, there's a really interesting matchup here. Team Connor Garnett, Christian Alshon could play into Callan Dawson and Hayden Patrick Quinn.
Mm-hmm.
If Connor and Christian only get one serve, because Connor still got the yips, I could see Hayden and Callan winning that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then here's another interesting one. James Ignatowicz and Pablo Tejas. Pablo Tejas looks like a guy named Pablo Tejas, according to memes of pickleball.
Yeah.
What do you think about that team? First time.
I mean, a lot of it will depend on James, how he's feeling.
Yeah. They have an extremely favorable draw.
Yeah.
Extremely favorable.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to
the quarters, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Xiaomei is with Rafa.
Yeah.
So
where's Tyson? Who's Tyson?
He's right there above with Deckel.
Oh, with Deckel. Okay.
Yep.
So we know that partnership sounds like they may be coming to an end too. We don't know that for sure, but yeah, Xiaomei and Rafa could give Tyson and Deckel trouble.
Yeah.
I think Tyson and Deckel will just slow him down and grind it out, and then Deckel's counters are just so good right now.
Dude, I hate complaining, but I've got a tough draw right here.
So Tyler
will play Colin Schick and Jack Sock,
which is not easy.
Which is, I mean, that's fine. I mean, they're a tough team, and then the winners will go on to play JW and Dylan.
Yeah.
Second round.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's weird is if you win that, then it actually would get easier.
Yeah, it opens up for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm gonna call it Augie and AJ upset Ben and Colin.
Wow, that's a pretty bold claim.
Daesky and Tardio make the finals.
Okay.
And then on the bottom half of that draw, I'm gonna say, oddly enough, Tyson and Deckel make the finals.
Over J-Dub and Dylan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm not going to predict the winner.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so, J-Dub and Dylan, someone's got to knock off them eventually.
There you have it. Those are the draws for the PPA Atlanta Open. So many players. This is a progression format, or is it progression or progressive?
Progression.
Yeah. ION. Yeah. So it's going to be quite a bit longer, technically starting on Monday, and then the main draw round of 64 starts on Tuesday and goes all the way through Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah, lots of good pickleball the last week and this upcoming week.
Yeah, it's awesome. The progression, we haven't had a progression draw in a while. Mm-hmm. We also haven't had a full field in a while. Mm-hmm. And by full field, I mean Annalie, Catherine, Ben.
Yeah.
So in all three events. So yeah, this is exciting. Atlanta is a huge event. Lots of points on the line.
There's been a lot of inclement weather.
And we have some more inclement weather next week, according to weather.com. Check out the local forecast.
Once again, I hate to pride myself or give myself props, but we need more indoor tournaments.
Is that you giving yourself props?
Yeah, because I always say how effective, how smart, and everything like that it would be.
Yeah.
With indoor tournaments, you would avoid all of this nonsense.
I do think you need an outdoor
season.
No. Oh, outdoor, but you always need an indoor contingency plan.
Yeah.
There should not be a tournament scheduled without an indoor contingency plan.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
If you are doing a tournament indoor, should you have an outdoor contingency plan?
In case of roof leaks.
Exactly. Okay. Real quick. So we love talking about this, but somebody out there.
I do. I love talking about what we're about to talk about.
Somebody out there called me and Alshon.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about line calls.
Yeah.
So give us your thoughts on line calls.
So there's another podcast, and they had another podcaster on it. We'll talk about it. It's okay. The Dink had on Travis Rettenmeyer.
Okay, so it used to be Tennis Sucks.
Yeah.
They went to the Dink to partner or something like that, and then I believe they left the Dink fairly recently.
Now they're back on their own.
Yeah. And then they changed their name.
Yeah, to Back of the Rack or something.
Do you know why they changed their name?
I honestly have no idea. I actually thought Tennis Sucks was the best part. The name was the best part about that podcast.
Mm-hmm. I think they claimed that
it's definitely better than Graham.
I think they claimed that it was hard to get sponsors with that name.
Really? Okay.
That's what I thought.
I think it's harder to get sponsors when you don't wear a shirt and every other word out of your mouth is the F word, but I don't know. That could be part of it.
Maybe. Who knows?
Or your podcast just sucks. I don't know. But with that being said, Travis and I are cool. I don't have any issues, but he's not the biggest fan of you. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people.
So I will say, and I'm sure he doesn't still like me. I'm sure he does not still like me, but he used to despise me.
Yeah.
Like absolutely despise me.
Yeah, and he's calmed down. He's got a little bit of Xanax in his life now, and he's calmed his nerves a little bit. And he's probably been to some anger management classes, and he's been reading some books and going to therapy. So he's calmed down a little bit. But once in a while, the cracks come out, and you still see the old Travis, which is good because that's the Travis that we've all grown to despise. So
do I need to leave?
He went on another podcast. No. And he said that people cheat. Everybody cheats.
Yes.
Agreed. You're all a bunch of cheaters.
Yeah.
Which I don't disagree with him that a lot of people cheat. It's
intentionally or unintentionally.
Intentionally or unintentionally, exactly. I don't think that it's any coincidence. We've talked about this a million times. That line calls start to get tight as the game starts to get tight and the game starts to get close to the end.
Yeah.
Line calls just seem to naturally get tighter. We just watched an MLP match. It was 24-24. There was no cameras, no replay, no nothing, but someone was streaming it on their phone, which actually was better quality than what MLP had, which is wild. And J-Dub called a ball out that was clearly in a 24-24 game.
And this is JW that you're saying.
Yeah.
And in my eyes, JW is one of, if not the most honest person.
He's more generous than most people. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So you're telling me the most honest and most generous person made a bad call.
So yes. So Travis said you're a cheater.
Okay. Well, not only me, he included Christian.
And Christian. Yep. And he said that you guys hooked him super bad in a match. Okay. So do you want to explain what happened in that match?
Well, first of all, let me put this out there. I'm not throwing Christian under the bus by any means, but I did not make the call. I did not see it. It was Christian that made the call. And then once again, Travis lost his mind and he started yelling and the call got overturned. And so that's the end of it. And to my recollection, there was only that one instance in that match.
Wait, it got overturned?
It got overturned.
So Travis didn't even lose the point?
No.
So if it got overturned, why is he so upset?
Because
if in the end the right call
he had the galls to make that call, I don't know.
If in the end the right call was made, then everything worked out.
Yes. Yep.
But he said that you guys hooked him. Riley Newman has come out and said that he doesn't like you because of line calls, which he's gone off about. He went off years ago on a podcast, but some people.
Well, actually, you told me that if you actually listen to the podcast even a little bit more, it's not as bad as he made it out to be. Just that clip.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, we're going to clip it, and the context makes it funny.
Yeah.
And there's people that just don't let certain things go, and they try to stay relevant on the internet by posting clips like that. And so, anyways, those things.
I said we just need Tyson to come out there to make it the holy trinity of really good guys.
Of all the people that you really want to be friends with, I mean, you're doing okay. But they do have to fix this because Travis is not wrong in a lot of this, and that there is blatant cheating going on. But it's not just cheating. Let's just be very clear, okay? It's not just cheating on line calls. There is cheating off the court going on too. And you better make sure that you don't have skeletons in your closet before you start calling out other people.
Sure.
Because there are people out there that are taking illegal substances. There's people that are taking PEDs. There's people that are taking unprescribed Adderall, which helps you focus more in a game with fast hands and a 100-mile-per-hour ball coming at your face, from 7 feet away. Like, that helps you. That is a performance-enhancing substance if it is not prescribed to you.
Not only
banned in every other sport. And there's people that are taking those and then calling out other people for cheating on line calls. I just feel like if you're doing those things, you're also cheating.
And not only that, but I mean, he was talking with Zane when he was bringing this up, and Zane 100% blatantly, and he admitted to it.
Yeah.
He technically cheated.
But Zane's playing it off as like it was a joke. But yes, Zane cheated.
Yeah. And then I think Travis said, "Oh, I respect you for owning up to that. If I would have owned up to making bad calls, would you respect me for that?" It's like,
or maybe we should talk about the players who are taking their paddles and putting them in the freezer before they take them to paddle testing so that they pass paddle testing.
Yeah. Now, what does that do?
Well, because what it does is it takes away that trampoline effect. While the insides are frozen, they'll pass the deflection testing for paddle testing, and then when you get them back, they thaw out and you're good to go. So that is happening 100%. I've talked to multiple people who have confirmed that and have seen it.
Yeah.
So all of that is cheating.
Yep.
So what they need somebody, PPA. It's not USA Pickleball, because USA Pickleball is just going to pass everything. Whoever pays them the most money.
Yeah.
Everybody is kind of getting after PPA, saying they're doing the same thing with these Yola paddles, but they do need a governing body. And it sounds like they're trying to get that in place, and they are putting people in place, whether they're the right people.
Putting new presidents in place.
Putting new people in place. Yes. Whether it's the right people or not will remain to be seen, but all that needs to be fixed. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's wild to me that like we're a professional sport where teams are worth millions, because we're going to count PPA and MLP combined at this point. Teams are worth millions of dollars, and players are getting paid, some of them over millions of dollars, and we can't freaking get correct line calls.
Yeah,
we can't get, make sure that all the players are on an even playing field when it comes to substances in their bodies.
You know what I was thinking?
We can't get paddle unification. It's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about is in tennis, you don't have this issue because they have electronic, they have lines people, everything like that. But how many players, pro tennis players, would have bad reputations of making bad line calls?
Oh, if you had to make your own calls.
If those tennis players had to make line calls, I'm not going to say every single, but a lot of tennis players from Southern California, they're known for cheating.
Yeah.
Like growing up, playing at the junior.
Is that where Travis played?
That's where he grew up.
Oh, interesting.
I had a friend, and I didn't grow up there, but I had a friend. He said every single player from Southern California cheats because they're wanting to be the best. They're wanting to do the best.
Yeah, and I think that pressure and wanting to be the best and pressure on yourself does make you do crazy things.
Yeah.
Okay?
The thing I've always said this before is there's not one person out there, not one person, as we mentioned earlier, JW, according to you, he made a very bad line call.
It was a bad call. It is what it is. I'm not saying J-Dub cheated.
Exactly.
I'm just telling you that J-Dub made a bad call.
It happens. Yeah. And when it happens consistently, that's when something should be done. But if it happens 1 out of every 3, 4, 5 matches, most of the time, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
and I've gotten to the
pattern.
point, I would honestly say the past 2 to 3 years, I've really loosened up on line calls. Yeah. I feel like if you're calling them that tight to win, then you should work on other things in your game.
It is. It's when there's the pattern of consistently bad calls.
Yeah.
We see it with Salome, right? Like, no offense to call her out, but I'm going to call her out.
Yeah.
She has a pattern and a reputation of bad calls.
Who would you say has a pattern on the men's side?
On the men's side, a pattern and reputation of bad calls is it's tough because I think I think most people try to call things as fairly as they can for the most part. I do think that Christian sometimes does get a little loose with his calls. I do think that Christian errs on the side of himself is what I'll say, which you can't knock somebody for that, because I don't think that, if I'm playing for a lot of money and I'm playing for points and I'm playing for sponsorships and all these things, that like, I'm going to be like, hey bud, like that was really close. I'm just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him for that, but I do think that he gets more people upset with him about calls than anybody else.
I'm just saying
who do you think?
Honestly, there's not one male player on the men's side that has a reputation.
But there's lots of female players.
I would say there's more on the female side that I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been playing for close to 10 years, and there's not one player that you can say, hey, this person never makes bad calls. I can individually remember one specific instance with almost every single player that has made a bad line call.
Yeah.
Like Dylan, Zane, Ben Johns, every single one, Matt Wright, every single one has made a bad
and that's the
call.
thing that's going to happen. And here's the other thing. With these seeds, And you being like, we just went through the seeding and how to get points. Yep. You're stuck in these seeds for a while. Mm-hmm. You're going to play the same players over and over again.
I just think it's a funny argument. It's like, if you're going to complain about line calls or something like that, and also there's a referee. If somebody is blatantly cheating, they're going to get overruled if it's blatant.
Yeah, if you're blatantly cheating over and over again. Yeah. But that's my point is like, if you're
these refs, they're not great, but if you're hooking somebody by 3 or 4 inches, they're going to call that.
Yeah, listen, the refs are doing the best they can as well. They freaking do their training. They work hard. Yeah. You know, most of them, they're not making a whole lot of money refereeing PPA matches. So yeah, I agree with you. I just feel like there's got to be another system in place to help. They got to help the referees. They got to help the players. Yeah. And there just has to be checks and balances in all things.
I do want to bring it up. That's why I'm bringing it up. But I mean, Matt and Lucy played against Callie and Jade 2 or 3 tournaments ago, and there was, according to Matt and Lucy, a very, very, very bad call.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Was it Callie or Jay?
It was Callie who made the call.
Like horrible?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. But
remember, we talked about this. There's no paddle tap. Lucy just walked off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lucy was, and that's her partner of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, it is what it is.
It is what it is. I mean, yeah,
they got to fix it. Yeah. And until they do, you're going to keep seeing these complaints. And the reality is the hotter the paddles and the more power, the harder it's going to be to call lines, because obviously the speed of the ball, and it's just going to make things more and more difficult.
Okay. All right. Let's get into questions.
Okay.
All right. The last segment is brought to you by our sponsor of this show, Vulcan Pickleball, the V-Pro Flight, who is, well, I think we can announce this, but we'll say this. This ball is being used at MLP.
Yeah, they're using it right now at MLP.
They are using it at MLP.
Crazy.
And so that's pretty cool for Vulcan and also MLP, and it makes it more uniform. All the players can get used to this ball. They don't have to worry about switching between balls. It's great. If you want to check it out for yourself, go to vulcansportinggoods.com and use code KOTC, or you can go to pickleballcentral.com and use code KOTC.
KOTC. Check it out.
Anything else with what we've discussed this far, Jimmy?
No, but we got some questions. One of the questions I think is a really interesting one. So we saw at Red Rock, and we've seen it kind of carry over to MLP. We'll break it down a little bit further. But Connor Garnett essentially has the yips in his serve right now.
Okay.
I mean, he's missed 30.
Thinking about the yips gives me the yips.
Yeah. He can't serve. He's missing them by 10, 15 feet. It's clearly in his head. He's struggling. You legit start to feel bad for the guy. And someone just asked a question. He said, Tyler, what is your process mid-game when you miss a few and get tight from it? He doesn't talk about serves, but just when you start to miss a few shots. We've seen it in tournaments where players will start to miss a few shots, and can they pull back out of that and regroup, or does it spiral out of control?
Yeah, so, I mean, Connor's in an interesting situation because he has the yips at the moment, and he's also playing with Riley, who is not known for having great positivity with his teammates. Yeah. And so that's putting more pressure on him. And then also he's playing rally scoring, where if you miss one serve, that's a point for the other team. Rather in traditional scoring, it does matter, but you're not losing a point per se.
Every time. Yeah.
And so I think all that stress or anxiety or nervousness is just rolling on one another.
And it just gets worse and worse and worse, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for him, you saw it in singles. He started literally like lobbing, like just kind of doing my type of serves.
Are we gonna call you like the yip breaker or what?
Exactly. Just go to my serve.
Does Connor Garnett need a slump buster?
Yeah. So if you're in those situations, I always just recommend giving yourself more margin. Instead of aiming for 1 or 2 inches over the net, give yourself 3 or 4 inches over the net.
He needs to give himself like 15 right now.
Well, no, he needs to bring it down. He's hitting them long.
Yeah. Yes. But
so he needs to bring it in.
But he can't even Yeah.
Somebody said drop serve, but essentially you've got to.
He should drop serve or backhand serve.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
He's got a good two-way.
Take a timeout, relax, take a deep breath. Somebody said, he needs to go hit more serves. I promise you he does not need to hit more serves. It's all up here in the head.
It's mental, yeah.
But, I mean, keep at it. I feel bad as well. Because it's a tough situation to be in. Okay.
Okay, one more.
Okay.
Little Sal from the Discord says, is it more impressive to be good at gendered or mixed doubles? Answer for both men and women. I have my own opinion on this.
I bet you would probably say mixed doubles. But
I would say mixed doubles for women, gender doubles for men.
Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that.
I think the men, it's harder to be good at gender doubles on the men's side.
Agreed.
And I think it's harder to be good at mixed doubles on the women's side because you're essentially getting 80% of the balls.
I would agree with that. Yep. Yeah. But there's some players, I would say most players, if they could choose a category to be the best in, it would be men's doubles. But we know some people like James Ignatowicz who says he wants to be the number one best mixed doubles player.
Mixed doubles, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, somebody said, why are the Yola Gen 3 paddles not banned? They dominated APP and PPA, clearly too powerful. Thoughts?
I mean, they are too powerful. They are. I think the thing is they are passing what the standards are set for right now, and they are passing those tests. And so you can't really knock Yola for being innovative and pushing the line and getting right up there.
I mean, I can tell you, I would say these Yola paddles specifically, are 40% more powerful than the paddle I'm using at the moment. And I think for singles, it makes a massive, massive difference.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that, like, you can't knock Yola because, I mean, they are passing. So I think Yola's like, okay,
are they passing? I mean, what do you consider a pass? 1 out of every 10, 20, 30?
But amateurs, I mean, they don't get them tested, so they can kind of throw out whatever they want, right? So it is tough. I mean, Yola essentially has, there's no such thing as bad publicity, but I bet you Yola has shattered records on the sales of these because everybody wants to use one. I mean, you told me the other day you played with a friggin' low-level 5.0 who was hitting missiles past your face.
Yeah.
Right? I talked to someone the other day. They said they played a 60-year-old guy, 60 years old, using a Tyson McGuffin paddle and about took their head off.
Yeah.
A pro.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Somebody said NML are the GMs. What the F?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I mean, good for them.
Hey, you're a GM.
They clearly have different philosophies than we do because for me, it's always been the pod comes first. But they shut down their blog for this.
Yeah.
What if they get fired after 1 year?
They'll start it up again.
A lot of people don't love the Hustlers team on paper. Now they are.
They did win last night.
And Jack Sock looked better than expected. CJ Klinger.
By the way, how about CJ Klinger not knowing they won the match when they got to 21 in the Dream Breaker?
Yeah, CJ had to learn a hard lesson about playing against premier level players and really got blown up a few times by Riley. But as we speak, he's actually playing really well. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a weird situation. But if you think about pickleball, there's not people that have grown up in pickleball and like grown up to become like in the NBA. You're like, I want to be an NBA head coach. Or in pickleball, there's not players that have like retired.
Yeah.
And then they followed the sport and they've kind of stayed in the sport. There's a few, Adam Stone is probably a good example of that, right? And he stayed in the sport.
Zane says he wants to be involved in the sport.
Yeah, Zane, but we're not there yet because the sport is still so new.
Yeah.
So where do you go and find people who are knowledgeable about the sport to put in these types of positions?
Yep.
It's got to be bloggers. It's got to be media.
Yep.
It has to be people all over that are following the sport. So NML makes sense. Guys from the kitchen, guys
from the kitchen for what?
Just saying that they make sense in positions if they were put in a position like this.
Like what?
Any position.
Okay.
To follow. They follow the sport as close or closer than anybody. Now, Jared and his D- grade for the Ranchers is obviously coming back to bite him, and that's why he's not a GM. But again,
if you had to put him in a spot, what would you put him as?
Jared?
No, Jason.
Oh, I was talking about Jared.
Oh, but what about Jason? If you had to put him in a
I don't know,
position,
honestly, Jason's a smart dude. Like if you read some of the articles, like when he wrote an article about the whole Tour Wars thing, like that's El Presidente right there. It was impressive.
Okay. Somebody said, did you watch the U.S. Open? How many long points and hand battles because of the ball is slow? Let's talk about the ball, not just the paddles. What if everyone played with a Franklin X40?
Well, I think that, you would see more hand
So
battles.
that's the beauty of this ball is it kind of combines the Dura with the Franklin. It's kind of that hybrid. It is softer than the Dura. But in regards to the paddles were evolving, were changing regardless of the ball.
Yes,
I always say, imagine if we were still using the Dura ball with these types of paddles.
Yeah, with the Yolas.
Heads would be gone.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you guys want to invest in something, go find some eyeglass companies, some protection eyewear.
Yeah.
Because that's the next phase.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick.
Uh-huh.
My guy, Camden Chafin, who is signed with Pickle.
Okay.
13 years old.
Let's hear about it. Yeah.
He is 13 years old.
Okay.
And he just made the main draw of APP event.
APP? Singles, doubles?
Doubles, men's doubles.
Cool.
Got out of qualies. Has there been a younger player that get out of qualies than 13?
Well, I mean, Annalie, she was.
Did she ever even have to play qualies at that age?
But she would have gotten out.
We don't know that.
We do.
Well, we don't know technically. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go on record and say Camden is the youngest to ever make a pro main draw.
Okay.
Going through qualifiers.
Okay.
I mean, fact check me if I'm wrong.
No, but I mean, somebody else could start their own league and have qualifiers and let kids get through.
The kid is a stud.
I love to see it. Congrats,
Camden. Honestly, one of the best dudes. Great family, and so shout out to him. He also, from the last time I've seen him in like the last few months, I feel like the kid's grown 6 inches. So
yeah.
Anyways, congrats, Camden.
Okay, top players you'd like to interview on the pod.
Man, there's a lot.
I'd like to get Ben Johns back on here, but do it in person. In-person pods are so much better.
Yeah, I'll take Ben. Ben was great. Leia was good, but I mean, we've kind of got all of them.
I want to do. This sounds dirty. I want to do. I want to interview Christian Alshon.
Yeah, I want Alshon.
You want him?
I want to do Alshon. Julian Arnold.
Julian would be great.
I actually would like Julian and Lauren together.
Okay.
I'd like to do them together. Interview them together on the pod. Honestly, I think that would actually be pretty good. There's a lot of pros. I mean, Jaume would be fun. Mm-hmm. A lot of personalities we can get on. You know who else would actually be really fun? Mm-hmm. And I think that
Pardo.
Pardo will never do it.
He will.
He keeps saying he will, and then he backs out.
Well,
Pardo, step up. I want Annalie.
Annalie would be good
on the pod.
She'd be too professional, though.
No way. I would bring her out of her shell. I could bring Annalie out of her shell.
How about her dad, Steve?
That's fine.
He's great.
Stop.
He's great.
I would like Stephen Waters here and Matt Wright here.
And then Jeff Warnick somewhere else.
Jeff Warnick, yeah.
Okay. Somebody said, absolutely can't wait to hear about the Patrick Kafka comments. That was the whole Rafa.
Oh, yeah. Should we talk about it?
I mean, you can.
So here's what happened. They're on MLP. He was doing grandstand. So for those that don't know, there's MLP players that went undrafted, but they're still signed. And so they have to put in a certain amount of days. Mm-hmm. And so they're putting them to work at these events.
Yep.
They're having them do announcing. They're having them do operations. They're having them do scorekeeping, refereeing. Kind of crazy. They're very, very expensive hourly wage workers. But with that being said, Rafa was doing grandstand with Olivia McMillan.
Yep. Not Shelby Bates.
Nope. 2 lefties, though.
Okay.
2 lefties together with Olivia McMillan. And they told them that their mics were off. Mm-hmm. And Rafa had a lollipop, I guess, and he was joking around.
Did he really?
He really did have one.
Because somebody photoshopped
one, yes. We have a picture of him. But anyways, allegedly he was joking around, and he said something like, you want to lick my lollipop, or how many licks does it take to get to the center of my... And Olivia said, on the first date? And they kind of had this like banter back and forth. And then Rafa started talking about a snake. And then they were talking about smashing something and anyways, it was, if you have a dirty mind, you could have taken that conversation somewhere.
I don't think any dirty mind. I think any normal mind.
I don't know. Because I don't know what they were talking about because we couldn't see.
I think you do know what they were talking about.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Get out of here, Jimmy. You know exactly what they're talking about.
So, with that being said, and then she asked
That's why you're smiling right now.
Then she asked if he had an Instagram, and she followed him on Instagram, and then she posted a picture of them together. So maybe she was offended, maybe she wasn't. Either way, be careful when you're around hot mics. Rafa,
has this ever happened to you? Because you've commentated a couple times.
Yeah. No, I know there's a cough button. You use that cough button as much as possible. But Rafa, bro, let me teach you a few things. Like your game is lacking. He needs a little help. Anyways, with that being said, it was funny, but also wildly inappropriate at the same time.
You're condoning it?
I'm not condoning it. I can think things are funny that are also inappropriate. People getting hit by like rolling tires down the street are funny, even though they get seriously injured.
It's
not funny. It's still funny. No, it is.
That's not funny.
No, it's funny.
Somebody getting hit by a rolling tire.
Have you not seen some of those videos? Or when people like fall over, Jason Derulo falling down the stairs at the Met Gala.
That's different than somebody getting hit by a tire.
No, it's funny. That stuff's funny.
You've got a sick
sometimes
mind.
People getting hurt is funny, but I can think that this is funny, but also not condone it. Okay, if Olivia was offended, then I take it all back.
So
and
if
Olivia, I'm sorry that Rafa said some of those things, but anyways, I'm not going to speak for them,
dude.
Okay. Also,
Memes of Pickleball posted it, but they took it down within 28 minutes. Yeah. Are they bought by Big Pickle?
Obviously, clearly,
Big Pickle owns
but
everybody.
I will say this: Rafa is on championship court today with Mish, and he's actually doing a very good job. He's actually a good analyst.
Yeah,
I've been pretty impressed. But I feel like Mish is keeping him very professional. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Okay. Anything else, Jimmy?
No, I think that's it. I think, yeah.
Awesome. If you've made it this far, please do us a big favor. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps push this content out to a new audience.
Am I responsible for Rafa? Am I my brother's keeper?
No.
Okay,
big shout out to Stack.
Someone said in the Discord
Athletics
that I shouldn't comment on it and that I'm a G. They were going, like, people are crazy.
Yeah.
Also, how come everyone in the Discord likes you more than me and gives you all the credit for everything?
Like what?
You have some freaking fanboys in there that are also F boys in other ways.
Excuse me?
But you have
what does F boys mean?
I'm not going to say, but you have some fanboys in there that like.
I love them. Volnatic is the best.
Volnatic's not one of your fanboys. He's pretty neutral. But there's a couple other guys in there that I'm like, dude, who are you? Go away.
Hey.
But they love Tyler.
I love him too.
Clearly.
I love my fans.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know if I can call them fans. I love my friends. I love people that communicate with me.
Are they members of the Loon family?
I'm friends. We're members with everybody.
Literally anything that happens in there, they're like, thanks, Tyler.
Well, I'm sorry that I'm contributing to the Discord and helping out.
But you didn't even do it, and you're getting credit for it.
All right, what are you talking about specifically?
I'm just saying you get credit for everything. Tyler, thanks for giving us a wonderful place for us all to come talk about pickleball. Well, who set up the Discord?
You officially set it up.
Thank you.
How often are you in it? Once a month? Once a month?
I can't keep up. Sorry that I have a life. Sorry that I have a day job.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, okay.
Which revolves in pickleball.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay, big shout out to Stack. We love them. Boom. Go check them out.
If Stack would restock this hat, I would sell them 1 million of them.
All right, calm down.
No, I would. KOTC. Code KOTC.
Big thanks to all of our sponsors. We have the Pickler. Go reach out to them. Pickleball Central, the best place to get paddles. Vulcan, C&D Pickleball Nets.
Wrong podcast.
Do you know what was funny? Somebody, never mind. I'll get into it another time. All right. Thanks for tuning in.
Gosh, that's a tease.